Perfect. Let's get into it, guys, today. Guys, welcome back to another stream. This is my second stream. And in today's stream, I want to talk about how. So, obviously, it's been 2 years, right, since the whole Kendrick and Drake beef. And I just want to highlight a few things. The fact that, you know, the issue is bigger than what it is. Drake's downfall began not during the Kendrick beef, but before that. And we can really see that just in the music itself. Forget his issues with like prior rappers such as Pusha T and even like throwing little shots here and there at Joe Budden and Charlemagne the God and all of those other people. So let's go. So Drake has released how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 albums in total. So let's start with the first few. Thank Me Later, I enjoyed. Take Care as well was a good album. Nothing Was the Same, of course. Views as well. I know Views was a little bit different compared to his traditional sound, if you want to say, from Nothing Was the Same and Take Care. But it still was a good album. I enjoyed it. Now, when we get into Scorpion, that's when things start drifting a little bit. If you look at the lead singles, so God's Plan was on originally the, what's that called? The Scary Hours, the first one. And then Nice for What was okay. I'm Upset, it wasn't all that. It felt like I'm Upset, it was a nice track, but I felt like it was more for like a leftover song or like a mixtape. And then Doesn't Matter to Me with Michael Jackson was good in my feelings. Obviously it got popular because of the whole dance move. Nonstop was okay. Mob Ties I enjoyed. And then let's go to Certified Lover Boy. I did not like it at all. Straight up trash. Well, actually, let's just look at the reviews for Scorpion. Let's see. Wait. Oh, right here. Sorry. See, lukewarm. See, that's when actually things start going downhill. But of course, people are oblivious to a lot of things, and a lot of it is like marketing, right? When it comes to Drake, he knows how to market. That you got to give it to him. The way he rolls out, whether it's an album rollout, or he definitely knows how to market himself, and he knows what's hot and what's trending. But that doesn't necessarily always mean that it's a good album, right? Now let's go. So that was in 2018. So this really started about 8 years ago, because these first 1, 2, 4 albums were great. This is when things start getting a little murky for him. And then Certified Lover Boy, which I was not really a fan of. The song Way Too Sexy was pretty okay with him and Future. Let's see. See, this was mixed. So Scorpion was lukewarm, this was mixed. And then let's go down to Honestly Nevermind. Completely different sound from what Drake traditionally does as far as album-wise goes. It was more of like, the upbeat tempo, and there were a few tracks on there. Sticky was good. And then Text Go Green was pretty good too. But again, like as far as an album, from what we're used to hearing with Drake, it wasn't that. And then for All the Dogs, of course, that was another one that I really didn't like either. Slime You Out with him and SZA, it was okay. Actually, we forgot to look at the album review for this. Generally positive. Whoa. Generally positive, which I don't really feel it was all that positive, but alright, let's go for All the Dogs. And this was met with mixed reviews. Let's see if we can. I'm just reading some of the notes over here. Yeah, I don't really like this album, to be honest, at all. And then we had BT, which was, I don't really like that. Iceman, I did not like that at all. Yeah, he had a few tracks like Shebang and Janice, but even with Maid of Honor, yeah, I get it. He released 3 albums to get out of his situation with the label, but I still feel like he should have put out a solid piece of work because at the end of the day, yeah, you may not be on that same label anymore, but your work is gonna go with you no matter what. It doesn't matter on what label. It doesn't matter which label you end up being on. And so now the point that I was trying to make was the fact that his music just doesn't stick like how it used to before. Like I think the last notable song that really stuck with me, besides first person shooter with J Cole, was the God's Plan, which was on the Scary Hours, uh, the pack that he released, but of course it ended up being on the Scorpion album as well. Now let's look at Drake's singles discography. So we're gonna go, obviously, my favorite song by Drake is One Dance, Diamond Certified. Um, yeah. I'm not, I don't want anyone to think I'm a Drake hater. It's not that. Drake is one of my favorite artists, but I felt like the way he handled the whole beef with Kendrick was not right. Like, listen, you lost, it's okay. Like, do you think, all these ball players and them, like, they win every season, every championship? No, it's okay. You lost, own up to it, move on, and that's it. The fact that, one, you couldn't admit it, then you went along to say, oh, all of a sudden you don't care about a rap beef. I mean, it was completely different when it was you and Meek, right? And then on top of that, you went and you sued for emotional distress or whatever it was that you stated. I mean, I didn't see Meek Mill sue for emotional distress, right? Or any other artist that got involved in a rap beef, right? But anyways, let's go to his singles discography. So Controller, Too Good was good. Passion Fruit was good. Portland, yes, I enjoyed it. Signs was a great track. The Sign was, I think he did for the Louis Vuitton show. Yeah. See, God's Plan. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. God's Plan was in 2018, right? That was in January, I remember, around that time. And then Nice for What? It was okay. It wasn't all that. And then I'm Upset. Doesn't matter. In My Feelings only went number one just because of the whole dance move. Now, this was Non-Stop was looking upside was good. And then Money in the Grave was pretty okay, but of course didn't reach number one. And Tuesday Slide, it was okay. Did not like Laugh Now, Cry Later. What's Next? Not really. Way Too Sexy Again. See, not number one. I mean, yeah, I did on just only one, it wasn't, that song wasn't like, when you think of a Drake song, right, Way Too Sexy is not the first song that you're thinking of, right? Or Laugh Now, Cry Later, or What's Next? Girls Want Girls, same thing. Night Talk, same thing. Sticky, same thing. Massive, same thing. Jimmy Cooks, same thing. Rich Flags. Been About You, Search and Rescue, Slime You Out. See, again, it's this is obviously before the beef. And as you see, none of his singles are really like sticking or like concrete. Rich Baby Daddy, same thing. See, if you look at all the, look at Push-Ups, of course, Family Matters, well, obviously that was for the beef. You My Everything, Give Me a Hug, which, again, that, I don't know why you would come out of a beef and then get together with Party Next Door. I mean, no offense to Party Next Door, I do like him as an artist, but why would you drop a collabo album, Some Sexy Songs for You, right after you came out of a major rap battle? Like, is that your way to show the people that how good your pen game is? But yeah, Nokia was okay. It wasn't all that. What did I miss? That obviously did not stick. It just came and went. Which one? Yeah. Janice was okay. Shebang. So as you can see, in the past, since 2018, in my opinion, of course, you guys are entitled to yours. Since 2018, God's Plan, I don't think Drake has had a concrete song like that. Actually, let's go to first person shooter. See what that did. First person shooter again. See, gold. They didn't even go platinum. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, everyone says, oh, like, you know, Drake's #1 and he still got the hits and this and that. I personally don't. Yes, does he have a good collection and a catalog of singles? Yes, he does. But if you look at the past 8 years, I don't think Drake's music has been hitting the same. It hasn't been sticking, and nor has it been resonating with his fans. It's like fast food, right? It tastes great in the moment, and then it's out of your system. That's why if you notice, before, like, Drake would drop a project, he wouldn't even need a single, and it would go really, like, for example, here. Let's go back to his discography. If you look at, if you're reading this, it's too late, right? Then what was the other one? Okay, so all right, let's start with if you're reading this, it's too late, right? Look, boom. Moved 535 units in the first week. And it received positive reviews, right? More Life, I liked it too. That's when he was in this whole Jamaican dancehall phase, right? Let's look, earning 505 album equivalent units, and then see generally positive. Like, all these Passion Fruit, Free Smoke, Portland, Fake Love. Like, Drake was that artist where he can drop a project and not say anything, and it would sell because the quality was there. And now, like, before, Drake's music spoke louder for himself than he had to, and now it's the opposite. For example, with his Iceman album, right? He was promoting that since last year, January. I remember right after, like a few months after the beef, he said, oh, I'm working on a new album, it's called Iceman. And then he said it was coming soon, coming soon. And then a year and a half later, he released it. Coming soon is not a year and a half later. You know, the fact that you took that long to promote an album. Yeah, the rollout was great. I love the fact that he did the whole ice structure thing in Canada, and then he put that poster in there and then obviously eventually it would melt and, you know, somebody would open it. That was great. But I feel like with Drake, he's more of a marketing artist than an actual artist now, you know? And as far as the whole beef with Kendrick goes, if you really wanted to, he did a live stream, and he said that, oh, the pen game isn't dry yet. I mean, if you claim going around saying you're the best, and you got the hits, and you're still the top dog, and this and that, well, one, why the hell did you take a year and a half to release an album? Which didn't even stick. It wasn't even all of that. Let's see what the reviews were, actually. And if you look at it, let's see what the reviews are first. Mix the average reviews. Look at that. Now, here's a good point that I want to show you. Let's forget Habiti and Maid of Honor. Let's look at just the album sales, right? So for Iceman, it did 449, up 463, 13,000 per album sales. So for the three albums combined, he did 687. Okay, right here, see? Drake amassed 687,000 album equivalent albums units sold for the three albums in their first week. Okay, now let's check this out. Now before that, he had For All the Dogs, right? Commercially, it did 402,000 with 10,000 per album sales. Okay, 402. And then, honestly, never mind. I mean, this one, we had barely had any promo, 204,000. 204,000. And then Certified Lover Boy, he did 613 album units. And then for Scorpion, he did 700, what was it? 732,000. So if you see, even his sales, right, have been going down album after album. Right, 732, 600 something, this was 200, this was 400, and then this one was 463, but it's just like, I mean, obviously there was a little bump increase between For All the Dogs, because For All the Dogs did 402, but still, it's like if you claim that you are the best and you still got the hits and the numbers and this and that. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people like to focus just strictly on the first week numbers, which there isn't anything wrong with it. But it's not only about the first week numbers. Sometimes you also have to see afterwards, right? What it did the second week, right? The third week, the fourth week. Yeah, I know. Some people are gonna say, "Oh, like, the album has been Iceman has been number one for the past 8 weeks, 7 weeks, this and that." But that's also because no other major artist has released an album. Yeah, Rick Ross dropped his album, but which obviously that didn't do that well, and that's a conversation for another day. But I just feel like, look, will Drake be known as a great artist? Of course, yes. For a decade, he delivered the hits since he's been out, right? But after 2018, things started shifting slowly, and I felt like his beef with Kendrick just increased the speed on that. Like, people started seeing things differently and started looking at things differently. And I think, yeah, it did a little dent to his reputation and his fan base, but I think it did a bigger dent. He did a bigger dent to himself than the whole Kendrick beef, just because the fact that he did that whole lawsuit. And then the fact that it's been 2 years and you're still throwing like shots and this and that. Kendrick is so past that. He's like, I'm over this. That was one chapter of my life. It's done and over with. And yeah. But that was my little take on the issues with Drake, which I felt like started before the whole Kendrick beef. Like, he musically started going down. Like, I can't recall a single line from his past few albums that I can say, oh, that was a good bar. Yeah. But let me know what you guys think in the chat below. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.